Welcome to a new daily top AskReddit video. Today's topic.
You fucked around, what did you find out? That nearly incapable of getting pregnant does not equal incapable of getting pregnant. This guy took the question literally. Yeah, I feel like the phrase, fuck around and find out, can't get any more literal than this. A dude might be a fat 45-year-old family dad, but his hands still can knock you the fuck out. They have a lot of pent-up anger. The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. Quote, the silent stress that most guys carry would surprise a lot of people. I watched Falling Down again recently and found myself thinking, oh, yeah, I get it. Quote, ha ha ha, it's just a chicken, what's it gonna do? It's gonna physically injure and humiliate you. That's what it did, lol. Has Zelda taught us nothing? I found out if you are ever attacked, I don't care what gender, sex, race they are, don't fight to control the situation like I did, fight to kill them. Fight for your life. Fight to end it. Knife in the chest, collapsed lung, nicked pericardium. As I walked out of ICU 6 days later, the head of the trauma center said, a CM in any direction and we wouldn't have saved you, you're a walking miracle. I'll take it. Closing parenthesis. This goes for all mammals. If you are in a fight, fight to kill. I'd throw reptiles in there too. Those crocs don't play, and don't get me started on turtles. Exactly, if you're not fighting dirty, you're fighting to lose. I used to know a guy who loved to fight. I went to high school with him. He always talked about showing honor in a fight, not cheating, etc. I have seen him have a fist fight with people, they blow off steam and end up hugging it out, so I get what he was going for. Well, it didn't work so well, and he didn't ever mention the code of honor again after someone stabbed him in the neck. Don't drink and then drive. Even if it's just through a parking lot. I was in college and had walked home from a local spot after a night of drinking with friends. When going in the dorm, I saw an open parking spot right by the doors. I was going home the next day and had a ton of stuff to take back. Decided to get in my truck, which was on the opposite end of the lot, and get the spot, but I forgot to turn my headlights on, mainly due to the parking lot lights but also alcohol. Campus police saw me and pulled me over in the lot, about 5 feet from the spot. Long story short, I got a DUI and my truck towed. This was 23 years ago, but taught me a painful lesson that stuck with me since. There was a time about 15 years ago when I was out drinking with friends, but nothing to excess. My routine was to have 3 drinks, then 2 glasses of water to dilute, and then wait until closing to head home. Worked like a charm so that I was stone sober before walking to my car. Until one time something was different and the drunk hit me hard while doing 70 down the freeway. I was actually scared shitless from how hard and fast it hit as I felt the sobriety slipping away. I managed to catch the first exit and parked in the dirt along the off-ramp. I had enough good thinking left that I managed to lock my keys in the trunk before climbing back into the car, locking the doors, and passing the fuck out. Cop woke me up as the sun was coming up and I was hungover. I couldn't hide having to remove the keys from the trunk and thought for sure the CHP was going to bust me, but instead, he said he could see I made the best decision at the moment and he appreciated me making sure I couldn't keep driving, then let me go on my way. All told, it was a small thing, but that event made me restrict my drinking to 1 slow beer a night when out for a few years. Sounds like something was slipped into your drink, TBH. That hot laboratory glass looks exactly like cold laboratory glass. That was one thing they showed us right at the start of university. Tar heats up one of 2 glass rods, hides them behind his back, then showed him to a student, which one is hot? Exactly. All chemicals in solid form are just white powder. A flask of water looks a lot like a flask of 6-NaOH solution. Cytogeneticists will freely use alcohol to refer to methanol, ethanol, propanol, isopropanol, and, apparently, glacial acetic acid. You are completely able to get 2 incurable STIs the first time you have sex, even with condoms. Edit, no longer replying to the comments, messages made on this. Did not expect it to get as much attention. Thanks, however. I feel seen. Damn, that's the guy your sex ed teacher said would happen to everyone. Forrest Gump style. Had sex once and got AIDS and a kid. Forrest Gump got AIDS. Damn man, I'm sorry. Thank that your employer is not your friend. Nothing that isn't a signed contract has any relevance to it. Never trust the spoken word, even with witnesses. Anything in business, get in writing. You have a phone call. Follow up with an email and ask some sort of affirmating question they have to respond to. If you're seeking employment, get the offer in writing. Spoken words can be challenged, but written with a signature is much harder. Don't wait for someone because you hope there's the chance for romance in the future, even if they say it could happen one day. You shouldn't need to put your life on hold for them. Live in the here and now, and the right person will hopefully find you one day. My ex that I've been so deeply in love with has been sending me, "We're gonna get back together soon girl, I just need more time," for months now. I feel absolutely frozen just waiting and waiting. I don't want to lose them, but it's hard. I wanna see things, do things, meet people. I just feel like I'm gonna betray them if they actually do need more time. I feel like an asshole for wanting to try and move forward. Y'all not together now, it's free game. Don't miss your husband waiting on a boyfriend. My uncle took the kids, me, my brother and my cousins, to the go-karts when we were younger than what was allowed, ages between, I don't know, 8 through 10 or something. The owner was making an exception for us and was explaining how dangerous it can be if we don't follow the rules and how he could get in trouble if we didn't behave and drove slowly and cautiously. While he was talking, I was making funny gestures to show I was a big and strong kid, like flexing or tiptoeing to make myself taller, normal kid stuff. The dude looked at me and said no one was going to drive because of me, and that I should have taken seriously what he was saying instead of goofing around. Boy, was everybody mad at me. It wasn't all that bad, but man, did that stuck with me. It's been like 20 years and I still remember that lol. Honestly, respect to that guy. I thought you were gonna say you were goofing around during his speech. He let you drive anyway and something horrific happened. Mad props to dude for being responsible and shutting it down. Well, it was probably for the best. The instructor was probably already feeling unsure and you were the final push. Wow, uncles are sure crazy, kids and go-karts. That not all dogs are friendly. Cats too. Some cats are just buttholes. It's common to misunderstand the love bite, love scratches, love puddle of urine on your pillow. That shower puffs and towels with loose strings are not piercing friendly. My everything just flinched. There may or may not have been a few occasions where I was fairly certain a small piece of my soul was ripped from within my body. Flushed. Railroad tracks are not a playground. R.I.P. My left foot. Edit. To all the people asking what happened, when I was around 12 I was walking along the tracks with my cousin when a train came around a bend, my foot got caught in the rails. Despite our best efforts, my foot and a bit of my ankle exploded off on contact. I got airlifted to a hospital where I got treatment and I have been living with a prosthesis since. I am 19 now, so it's kinda normal to me now. You just tripped and broke your foot beyond repair, right? ... Right? Question mark. No, left. Not all kids go to juve when you get arrested as a minor. Got choked by a meth head and was stuck in a holding cell with a lady talking to a wall while wearing a dress covered in blood. Took the law a lot more seriously after that. You got choked and they arrested you. No, got choked while in jail. Sorry for the confusion on that. Some lady thought me and some imaginary people were talking to her and kept screaming at us. When I got up to move away, she jumped up and started choking me. Sounds like they were put in a cell with a meth head. If you drink untreated water, you can get giardia. Don't go drinking waterfalls. Please stick to the bottles and the taps that you're used to. I didn't take this seriously in the backwards and dodged the bullet many times. Got giardia once and will never use water that hasn't undergone some purification process, whether that is boiling, filtering, iodine crystals, etc. I also took a class that had me take and look at various water samples under a microscope. Looks clean, doesn't mean shit. Looks clean, doesn't mean shit. Looks clean, can mean lots of shit. Every 30 minutes. That no one was even remotely kidding about the addictive properties of heroin. Obligatory link to the guy who tried heroin once and completely derailed his life. This guy's journey was wild. Start at the oldest post. Wow. I could not stop reading the saga. 14 years ago and he was already playing around with Fent within a few months. I am scared straight. I once had poison oak so bad that I had the most amazing, indescribable, absolutely near orgasmic full body sensations when I'd go to town scratching at it. Then, inevitably, seconds into scratching, the white hot flashing fiery pain of the poison oak being raw and inflamed would kick in and was so painful, it dropped me to my knees. I described it to a few friends at a party years later, and a mutual friend who was a recovering heroin addict told me that's kind of how heroin addiction is, but 100x more intense and addictive and deadly. I completely agree with the poison oak experience. Angels sing and then demons howl, but worth every scratch. As a 22-year-old I was confident that drinking alone was completely normal. Hell, it's just a few beers, right? I'm in my mid-30s and 2 years sober, fucked around and really found out. Same. In college, everybody is an alcoholic. Sure, the drinking was more normalized, but getting blitzed 4 nights a week alone most definitely is not. Well done on the sobriety! Exclamation mark. Narcissism is easily mistaken for confidence. Can you give an example? I am trying to learn to differentiate between these two. Narcissists believe the world revolves around them specifically, which does mean that they act with incredible confidence. But being confident is not the same as being narcissistic. A very on-the-nose example is, a confident guy locks eyes with a cute girl across the bar. He walks over, maintains a polite distance, compliments her, and asks if he can buy her a drink. Or something along those lines. Point being, he has the confidence to take the first step and make contact. He will also leave if it is requested or obvious if that's what she wants. A narcissistic guy will walk over, stand way too close, talk about how she is so obviously into him, and generally make himself the center of the interaction, and is much less likely to respond to a dismissal. Narcissism is sort of an overconfidence in your own image and personality. The belief that everything happens for you, and not for everyone else.